particular details are confusing to us, but they would have been common objects and common knowledge to the original readers, the audience that Forster wrote for. At the end of the top line of the page, he mentions a Lee Metford, which was a sort of rifle, the standard rifle of the British Army. But for some reason, according to the fantasy or science fiction aspects of this story, machines, including, it seems, especially that writer, don't work on the other side of the hedge. The In the paragraph I was reading before, the Transvaal War was the Boer War in South Africa, fought between English colonists and German colonists. So at the time, the most fearsome and modern war that the world had seen, and a kind of ominous warning of things to come. This narrator thinks of it as it seems as a matter of learning, expanding, developing, which in a way was true of that war. The power of the weapons and the tactics did do all of those things. There's a little detail about gates, which I don't plan to explain fully, but there's some meaning behind the signs. Traditionally, this goes back all the way back to the Greek poet Homer. It's thought that dreams come from heaven through two different gates, and some of the dreams are true and some are false. So they come, and that's due to whether they come out of the gate of ivory or the gate of horn. Those are puns in Greek that don't translate into English. But the false dreams, it is said, come through the gates of ivory into people's minds and then mislead them. But true dreams come through the gates of horn. And both those gates have a role in this story. But then that simply becomes part of the puzzle that we have to put together. In page 4, the woman Miss Eliza Dimbleby returns. That's the second paragraph on page 4. You will remember him from the first page when he was tired and stopped along the road that she passed by, yelling encouragement at it so he could get up and begin walking again. Now the narrator is surprised to find that she too is here behind the hedge. It seems not the right place for her. And he lets out this little detail that she's supposed to be getting on a train because she has a lecture in a place called Tunbridge Wells, a London suburb. She's an educational reformer, and it seems that she's due to give a talk on progress and the expansion and development of the world. And it seems strange to the narrator that she's here wasting time when she has this important work to do. And the story seems to reveal a little bit of its existing on two different levels, because the first just has a group of people who, for whatever reason, have to walk and keep on walking. But here, the meaning of that is somewhat interpreted as action progressive causes. When we saw Eliza Dimbleby first time, she was just walking down the road, but somehow that means she's supposed to be catching a train to go to Tunbridge Wells. And that's a little clue to how the story works on two different levels. And what we're left with at the end is the strange mystery of trying to understand what's happened to this man. It seems that he's worn out by his travels. That's why he went through the hedge in the first place. He did not have anything to drink or to eat because he was suspicious of the place and its inhabitants. And he gets weaker and weaker and hungrier and thirstier, and loses his self-control over the end, here at the end. And that's a kind of mystery. What happened to him? What did he do? What was a result of losing his self-control? Uh, and that's one mystery. The bigger mystery is that the whole seems to be put together as a kind of metaphor, which never announces itself as a metaphor, but which we just have to assemble in our minds to see what the signs point to. That is the puzzle of understanding this story. Uh, it's a good puzzle. It's deftly handled with proper writer's talent, and that's our work for class time on Thursday.